Tim Reynolds says Tim Reynolds, born 15 December 1957, is an American guitarist and multi-instrumentalist known as both a solo artist and as a lead guitarist for the Dave Matthews Band. AllMusic critic MacKenzie Wilson has called Reynolds an underrated master. Reynolds plays the guitar, piano, sitar, drums, violin, bass, keyboards, ethnic percussive instruments, solo djembe, harp, uses drum machines for special effects, and sings, although his performances are primarily instrumental rock music. As well as being the founding member of the band TR3, he is one of the musicians who performed at Miller's, a bar in Charlottesville, Virginia, befriending and encouraging the bartender, a young Dave Matthews, to form a band of his own, introducing him to local musicians, several of whom make up the Dave Matthews Band. While Reynolds long declined the offer to join as an official member, he recorded and toured as a sideman with the Dave Matthews Band from its inception until late 1998, joining them as a permanent member in June 2008. He often tours with Dave Matthews as an acoustic duo in addition to performing as a member of Dave Matthews and Friends. Early years. Reynolds was born in Wiesbaden, Germany, where his father, who served in the U.S. Army, was stationed. He says he hails from nowhere because the family moved so often. His family lived many places, including Germany, a farm in Indiana, an army base in Alaska, Kansas, and Missouri, where he lived longer than any other place until he was old enough to move away as an adult. Both parents were extremely devout Christians, and he says he grew up with Christian music all around him. However, his older sister owned some albums from the Beatles, which he says, even as a very young child, he loved instantly, playing air guitar to their music. Upon reaching adolescence, Reynolds was able to learn guitar and bass guitar, so he could perform in the family's local church choir 3 times a week, while also beginning to experiment with learning what eventually became second nature, adding riffs infused with rock and roll, funk, and soul music by the age of 12. Upon graduation from high school, he moved away from the Midwest. His talent brought him together with what be 2 other founding members of djembe, Carter Beauford and Butch Taylor, in the fusion band in Richmond, Voss Secrets. Later landing in Charlottesville, Virginia, finding jazz fusion, and experimental music enthusiasts there, Reynolds found the college town a more welcoming environment for him to branch out musically than any of his previous homes, and added to his experimentation other musical influences to his repertoire, including 60s psychedelic rock. By the 1990s, he had formed the Tim Reynolds 3 or TR3 and had added other influences such as 9 Inch Nails, Bob Marley, and Marilyn Manson. In addition, he continued to learn to play other instruments, including the sitar, sarod, the mandolin, keter, tubular bells, and other exotic instruments that were not commonly seen in Western rock artists of the rock and roll musicians of the time. Musical collaborations. As a duo with Dave Matthews, Reynolds was performing in Charlottesville in the late 1980s when his friend, Nick Capon, encouraged him to perform at a local bar, Miller's, where he met bartender Dave Matthews. Reynolds explains, "I played their Miller's in Charlottesville all the time. Dave Matthews was the bartender. I knew the rest of his future band way before that. We played together in Charlottesville since I moved there in 1981. I would play with Leroy Moore and Carter Beauford. Dave moved to town in 1987. When the Dave Matthews Band started 1991, I already had my own band TR3. I told him, Matthews, I've got a band and I kind of like the way it is, you should start your band. I could see that he needed to do his own thing. In 1993, Reynolds and Matthews started playing a few acoustic duo sets. These featured Matthews' music, stripped down to just the acoustic guitar, paired with Reynolds' guitar and occasional use of slide guitar. During these sets, Reynolds would play between 1 and 4 of his own pieces that spanned his own catalog of work. After a few years, these shows gained popularity, and in 1996 Matthews and Reynolds embarked on their first full tour together as a duo. In 1999, coinciding with the release of the 40-date tour, Live at Luther College was released. After a short break, Reynolds toured again with Matthews as a duo in 2003. Reynolds and Matthews then reprised their duo shows as an opening act for the Dave Matthews and Friends tour in 2003 and early 2004. They played several shows together in 2006 and 2007. Reynolds joined Matthews on a mini-tour of Europe in February and March 2007. On 14 August 2007, Matthews and Reynolds released a live CD/DVD set, Live at Radio City, including the songs Stay or Leave, Gravedigger Cornbread, and Dancing Nancy's, among others. It also includes two of Reynolds' own songs, You Are My Sanity and Betrayal. The Radio City show was also released in high definition on Blu-ray. In 2008, Reynolds once again joined Dave Matthews Band for the recording Big Whiskey and the Grugrux King with producer Rob Cavallo. It was Reynolds' first recording collaboration with Matthews since 2003's Some Devil and his first with the Dave Matthews Band since 1998's Before These Crowded Streets. Reynolds and Matthews performed together several times in April 2008 in support of presidential candidate Barack Obama at the Seeds of Compassion show in Seattle and at Jack Johnson's Kakyu Festival at the Waikiki Shell on the island of Oahu, in Hawaii. Reynolds toured as lead guitarist with the Dave Matthews Band in support of Big Whiskey and the Grugrux King in early 2008. As of the fall tour of 2018, he is still a full-time member of the Dave Matthews Band. Dave Matthews and Friends. Following the release of Dave Matthews' first solo album, Some Devil, Matthews brought together many of the album's collaborators and embarked on a small winter 2003/2004 U.S. tour. The group consisted of Trey Anastasio of Fish on guitar, Brady Blade on drums, Tony Hall on bass, Ray Paxkowski on keys, and Reynolds on guitar. Each show opened with a small acoustic Matthews and Reynolds set, and then followed with the full band set with Reynolds performing on electric guitar. Most of Some Devil was played live that tour, along with a wide variety of covers including, by Reynolds' request, Peter Gabriel's hit Salisbury Hill. Dave Matthews and Friends performed occasional shows again in 2004, 2005, and 2006. In 2008, Reynolds joined Dave Matthews Band on their summer North American tour and scheduled to rejoin them on their spring 2009 North American tour. Both Matthews and Reynolds have an open taping policy that additionally extends to TR3. Charity. Reynolds and Matthews performed on a 2008 album called Songs for Tibet, an initiative to support Tibet, Dalai Lama Tenzin Gyatso, and to underline the human rights violations allegedly committed against Tibet by China. On 4 October 2009, Reynolds performed with Matthews in St. Louis, Missouri to support Farm Aid in 2009 and again in Hartford, Connecticut on 22 September 2018. Personal life. Reynolds has a son Joseph, born in February 1982, with his ex-wife, Lina. In 1995, he and then-girlfriend Diane Thomas had a daughter, Yura. They resided in New Mexico with her son Justin Bayou. In 2008, Thomas moved with their children to North Carolina. Tim followed to be near his daughter Yura. He currently resides in North Carolina after living for 17 years in Virginia and several years in New Mexico. On 1 August 2017, Reynolds married Kristen Nienkirchen in Turks and Caicos. Discography. Studio albums: 1993 Stream, 1997 Sanctuary, 1999 Astral Projection, 2000 See Into Your Soul, 2000 Stream Re-Release, 2001 Nomadic Wavelength, 2001 ID from the Lab Vol 1, 2002 Petroglyph, 2005 Parallel Universe, 2010 The Limbic System, 2016 That Way, Live Albums, 1996 Gossip of the Neurons, 2002 Chaos View, STR3, 1988 TR3, 1991 Shifting Currents, 1995 Light Up Ahead, 1995 Dear Charlottesville, 1995 Common After You, After You, After You, After You, You After You, 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 After You. 2009 Radiance, 2011 Live from Space and Beyond, 2014 Like Some Kind of Alien Invasion, 2019 The Sea versus the Mountain, as Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds, 1999 Live at Luther College, 2007 Live at Radio City, 2008 DMB Live Prism Coffee House Charlottesville, VA4/22/1993, 2009 DMB Live Appalachian State University Boone in C3/29/2003, 2010 Live in Las Vegas, 2012 Live Tracks Fall, 23 he, 2012 Live Tracks Fall, 24, 2012 Live Tracks Fall, 41, 2012 DMB Live Memphis, Richmond, VA 6/13/1993, 2014 DMB Live JT Kingsbury Hall, Salt Lake City, UT 3/3/1999, 2019 Live Tracks Vol. 48, 2019 Live Tracks Vol. 49. With Dave Matthews Band, 1993 Remember Two Things, 1994 Recently, 1994 Under the Table and Dreaming, 1996 Crash, 1997 Live at Red Rocks 8.15, 95, 1998 Before These Crowded Streets, 2001 Live in Chicago 12.19, 98, 2004 Live Tracks Vol. 1, 2008 Live Tracks Vol. 13, 2008 Live at Mile High Music Festival, 2008 Live Tracks Vol. 14, 2009 Live Tracks Vol. 15, 2009 Big Whiskey and the Gru Grux King, 2009 Europe 2009, 2010 Live in New York City, 2010 Live Tracks Vol. 19, 2011 Live at Wrigley Field, 2011 Live in Atlantic City, 2012 Live Tracks Vol. 22, 2012 Away from the World, 2018 Come Tomorrow, 2019 Live at the Hollywood Bowl Awards, Grammys, 2010 Album of the Year Big Whiskey and the Gru Grux King is featured artist nominated, 2011 Best Rock Instrumental Performance Kundalini Bonfire nominated.